the front seats and the torsion beam rear suspension from the hatchback. This suspension takes up less space but compromises comfort and performance. However, Honda's acted on this by introducing a rear adaptive damper system with 3 settings: comfort, normal and dynamic. But does it make a big enough difference when driving? In short, not very much. You're supposed to be able to adapt the rear suspension to the driving environment, but in comfort mode, when you hit a bump, it bounces afterwards, and in dynamic mode, it's just too firm. At all times, there's quite a lot of noise from the suspension as well. It's very crashy and very bangy. It's certainly not as refined as a Volkswagen Golf Estate, and you've got to remember the adaptive dampers are only available on the 2 higher spec models. So what about the engines? Well, there are 2 choices. There's a 1.8 petrol or this 1.6 diesel we're driving. For a small diesel engine, there's actually a good spread of power. There's quite a lot of low down grunt, and in 4th and 5th gear the engine feels flexible. The only problem is it's noisy, and noisy at all times, and it gets even worse when you're accelerating hard. But that said, it should be efficient. It's got claims of 74 miles to the gallon and 99 grams per kilometre of CO2 emissions. We'll have to wait until we get it in our labs to test these claims. In terms of the handling, it's pretty much the same as the hatchback. Because the wheelbase is the same, it doesn't turn in any quicker or any slower, and you don't really feel any advantage or disadvantage of having the additional length at the back. One good thing Honda's done is retuned the steering. Now they've made it heavier at the centre point, so it actually feels a bit more involving. It feels more attached to the front wheels, but it's still not as involving to drive though as a Ford Focus Estate. If it was my money, I would forget the hatchback and just go straight for the Tourer. It solves some of the fundamental problems with the Civic, but also has so much more practicality. And because it shares so many of the same parts with the hatchback, it should have the same level of reliability. But there are still some problems with the Civic Tourer. That diesel engine is noisy, the ride comfort is still too bumpy, and even though there's more headroom in the back, there's still not that much legroom. But the question is it as good as its latest rivals? The Mark 7 Volkswagen Golf Estate and the new Seat Leon ST. Click the links below to see our video reviews of the Volkswagen Golf Estate, the new Seat Leon ST Estate, and to find out how the Civic hatchback rated in our full lab test review.